Graham, McFly. We're checking out the Scene Snobs.
Hey everybody, it's CJ Graham, Jason Voorhees. That's right, Friday the 13th, part 6. And you're listening to the scenesnobs.com.
Welcome to the Scene Snobs Podcast.
What's going on? Oh, Scene Snobs good. Ah.
Oh, look at there. What's up, Frank? It's a pleasure to see you. Really exciting.
Here. I got my
Hi, pal.
best garbs on. How you doing, buddy?
Oh, you know what? Well, I just changed back from being a werewolf, so I'm stark naked. And it's uncomfortable for everyone.
I love the costume that you've chosen for this evening.
Yeah.
Casey, the Madman plot, is live via satellite footage from LA. He's out in Los Angeles this week for work. Last 2 weeks, really.
Yeah, that's 2 weeks, bro. I mean, it's going. This has been some serious work. A lot going on.
Yeah, man. And I'm still here in Virginia.
Gorgeous as ever, by the by.
Thank you. I did get a haircut. I did shave the beard for this green mess on my face. And we, it's not just Frankie over here, or Frank Mon. And then it's not just the man here as the wolf man after changing back.
Post-werewolf, which is really the most terrifying thing ever, is just running around naked. Like, who wants that?
We do have the king here, the man. Very special guest tonight. We're going to be bringing him on in just a few minutes. We're going to cover the show. We'll cover a few things real quick, and then we're going to bring him on. Not only, I'm not going to give away his costume.
Please don't.
Not only does he fit the motif, and I promise you, we didn't all plan this.
We didn't plan this at all. In fact, I was just jumping on as a naked man, and then it got better.
It's true. We did just give it to you. So I want to go through. I want to say hi to some everybody watching right now. John, what's going on, buddy? Love having you. And Kenny, my friend. Whiskey's here. Kathleen. Casey, you seem to be missing something. He seems to not be missing it. It's right down below. Trust me.
It's right where it needs to be, and it's just hanging.
Paul is here. Yo, wild. This is why I watch y'all. Yeah, we get crazy. John. That's way more Casey than I expected to see. It's not a bad look, though. Oh,
thanks, man. I figured I'd try something different.
Kathleen and naked Mick face. I know. I shaved the beard. I know. It's terrible. Maybe I should just wear green face more often. And, of course, Ron, CRP, looking like a buff tattoo, Justin Timberlake.
Wow, so Ron's drunk.
Yeah. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. Just so you guys know, it's our Halloween show.
Woohoo! In case you were not sure. Surprise.
We're so excited to be here. In fact, it's our Halloween show. Before I bring our buddy on, I'm going to change up the color scheme just a little bit. No, that's not good. I need better orange. There we go.
That's nice. Almost a burnt sienna, but not quite. I'm a fan. It's almost pumpkin.
It's a solid orange. I like that orange. So we are here and we are enjoying it. We have quite a few topics to talk about tonight, but real quick, I did want to say something. I want to get up on my soapbox for a second if I can.
Here we go.
So we all know the news that came out of the film Rust. I want to say rest in peace, Lena Hutchins, who was the director of photography on this movie, who was shot at, because of an unfortunate event that occurred on set, and the director, of course, was also injured. And I just want to say, I've been seeing a lot of memes that are really making fun of Alec Baldwin. Now, whatever you feel about Alec Baldwin as a person, I don't care. I know I liked him on 30 Rock. I like some of his movies, but as a person, things I've seen, I set aside, that doesn't matter. We need to really stop being cruel with the memes and stuff like that. It's not his fault. He didn't do anything wrong. Unfortunately, he was at the end of this incident. It was not his job to check. It was not his, he is literally the talent. He was handed to him. It should have been checked on many steps since. Fault lies for fault lies, and we're going to let them handle that. We're not here to say that, but really think about if you're going to be sharing these memes and things like that, because it's truly cruel to do that. The man is distraught enough. It's hardcore, and it's just cruel at this point. And let's not be cruel. Let's be kind.
Yeah, let's avoid any cruelness we can. This is a horrific tragedy and an absolute terrible accident. Unfortunately, there are supposed to be steps in place to prevent that. There are supposed to be people whose responsibility is to make sure that this exact tragedy doesn't happen. Those steps failed. This was a mistake. A horrible, horrible loss of life. And I don't think making light of the situation is positive in any way, nor does it further the conversation that needs to be had about protecting people in this career field.
And there's a lot out there that I would say, don't make this a political issue about guns. It is a completely different thing. Just let's figure out, let the investigations go where they're going to go. Let that happen. Let's see what happens. But leave Alec Baldwin alone. It's just cruel. It's not nice. And you're kind of a dickhead if you share it. So that's what we're going to say. But we're going to get into the fun stuff.
Let's get the fuck out of that venue and welcome back.
Now let's get to the Halloween. And we're going to bring on our guest, the man. The myth.
The man.
The legend. We've talked about this. He's been on the show before. He is a legend.
He is.
And he is the king of the night. Dracul. Hello, sir.
Yo, what up, bro?
How's it going, guys?
Tim, I'm so happy to have you on, man. How you doing, buddy?
Not too bad. Not too bad at all. It's tough to talk in these things, but otherwise we're doing all right.
Well, I mean, if you look that good, you just got to commit, bro.
We'll give it 5, and then once everyone sees, we can we'll get into a better situation.
We're all in theme tonight. Casey's the Wolfman after he transforms back. You, of course, are the man Dracula. I am doing my best to be Frankenstein. Ooh,
yeah, and you're crushing Frankenstein's monster. Let's not forget Frankenstein's monster.
We got the creature here. So
see, I was excited to see you be Ted Lasso.
Yeah, you know what? I was going to do that, but the stupid mustache kept falling off. So I was like, I can't do this. And plus, I looked a lot more like Farva.
I was going to say, I know it was just because you were disappointed over the Farva aspect. So
it was hardcore Farving. Well, this was the original plan the whole time. I was going to do, I even have like green sort of on my hands. But it was, this was the plan the whole time. Unfortunately, I should not shave my beard.
Yeah, you look fantastic. You're crushing it.
Thank you, Case. I appreciate it.
Fantastic as always, bro. And now fuck the haters, huh?
We do have a lot of fun people watching. Great people, actually. John Wasp, of course, Manscaped episode. No,
that's so strong. Dang, bro.
It would be. It would be if we still were sponsored by Manscaped. But we do love them, though. They are a great product.
Yes.
Katie. Oh my God, everyone looks so good. Katie, thank you for watching.
Katie.
Ron says both our hosts are well shorn.
Ron, this is actually genetics. I unfortunately can grow no body hair.
I love it. Al, don't say that. Then maybe we'll get Manscaped back.
Balls. I mean Manscaped.
It's all Manscaped. Alec has had issues, but nobody should be thinking about that right now. You're right. True, dude. It was such an awful accident. I was also thinking very much about the crow that day. Yeah, I mean, it's just a lot of heartbreak. I'm glad you guys are on the same page.
Don't worry, Kathleen. Neither do we ever. We're like the abyss in this son of a bitch. We never know when it's going to happen.
It's very rare, but when I see something that I feel like I need to speak up on, I will do it. We are not funny. We're not addicts. We're snobs, so we have to be snobby, and that's why we went real.
Yeah,
I'm picking on her because of her shows.
Funny Science Fiction Podcast and Podcast Addicts. Check them out.
True. Was not expecting Transylvania Tim. Look at that. Look at how good Tim looks.
Amazing, dude. He's got that straight Christopher Lee. This is the Hammer Dracula, bro. He's crushing it.
I love that Katie's watching, and she's not watching because Tim was going to be on the show. She didn't know he was going to be on the show, so I love you, Katie. Thank you. Kathleen, you're just missing Abbott and Costello. We're not missing them.
Are we, though?
John, are we being funny again? Because I still haven't seen Ron in a prom dress yet.
Nobody wants that. Actually, no, it's a lie. I do want that. I
I want that too.
Yeah.
Radar. Never seen Casey without his head right.
I know, right?
That's Halloween, though. He can't be
Maybe it's a wig. Yeah.
I think they're just astonished you have hair because they've never seen it.
Always a shocking reality of how much hair, too. Ooh.
Yes. Vampires can't just take their fangs out, Tim. Commit to the bit. Oh, John called you, man. You got to keep them in.
No, hey, you know what? Do what feels right.
So says the naked guy. Tim looking like my creepy uncle from the restraining order. Oh, leave him alone. He's fantastic.
Wait. Your uncle is a vampire, Ron? That you got bigger problems, bro.
Filed his teeth down, goes over to his house.
Right?
Like,
I gotta be normal.
Sometimes when there's set tragedies, sad snobs. Yes, we do get sad snobs. Sometimes, very
on occasion.
January 6th, May 28th. I could go on and on.
Thanks for calling them all out. Holy shit, it's been a rough year. Thanks a lot, buddy.
Gotta be called out sometimes. Because Black Lives Matter. Thanks for plugging the show, guys. I appreciate the love. Absolutely. So we got to the comments. Now we're gonna get to the topics.
What?
Ow!
Now, this episode was birthed from, unfortunately, Dan could not join us tonight. He had a prior engagement. We would have loved to have him, but we had Dan and Tim on Real Combat going head-to-head with their movies. And the champion is here with Dracula has risen from the grave. So, I mean, it works. I mean, it just he defended it through and through and then dressed as the man. That's crazy. We were talking about the bar from Dracula's Risen to the Grave, which is a very cool looking bar. It's an awesome set. It's like almost like a log cabin type of place.
Yep.
Casey would love to work there. I know it.
Yeah, absolutely. I would love to work in most of these bars in horror movies. Like, I think it'd be fantastic because the bartender barely ever gets it, right?
Yeah. Well, Tim had brought up the bar and how cool the bar looks. And actually, I want to ask you a question, Tim, because now that I've seen the movie off of your recommendation, does it make you think, like, is it a German style? I kind of get an American Revolutionary wartime style.
I don't know. I mean, the glasses are pretty, you get your traditional German glasses. The dress is pretty traditional. And the size, I would think, goes more towards a German pub as well. Like, pubs in Europe are very intimate and much smaller. All space is much smaller in Europe generally, outside of maybe your big cathedrals and stuff. So, I mean, I've only been to UK pubs, but I definitely still got more of like a Europe, at least a European vibe out of it.
Yeah, it's very.
Yeah. And to me, like, that American Revolutionary War style is very colonial.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But when I watched that show, Casey actually turned me on to it. It was Turn.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Turn. It gave me that type of feel. So, like, it was very much like the Europeans came over and just built this. Sort of
that's kind of what happened.
All right.
The look I enjoy, but it was always the vibe that I liked. Like, that just looks like a raucous time. Not a lot of women in that bar, but otherwise a lot of fun.
No, back then it was more about the we're going to go home and take the women sort of feel.
Fair enough.
And then they get mad at Dracula for taking the women. It was very weird.
They get mad at Dracula for a lot of things. I don't know if it was just taking the women. I think the whole murdering and turning them into the undead was maybe more problematic.
Yeah, but it was Christopher Lee. So was he taking them, or were they like, yeah, make me immortal with you and have your way?
Yeah, the barmaid is definitely 100% into Christopher Lee. So much so that she's very upset that she doesn't get Christopher Lee.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, there's a whole trance thing that vampires do. So can we really say they actually wanted him, or were they under a trance the whole time?
No, I got the feeling that it was like Christopher Lee on set, like, I'm going to be in Star Wars one day, right? And this is like 1972, and he's like, I'm going to be in Star Wars one day as Count Dooku.
Well, then there's also Peter Cushing there going, well, I'll be Grand Moff Tarkin about 20 years before you, so.
Well, funny thing, this one wasn't Cushing.
No, this is not
Van
Cushing.
Helsing one?
There's no Van Helsing in this movie. There's an atheist baker / college student and a failed priest.
It's an interesting case. You'd like this one. It's called Dracula Has Risen from the Grave.
Oh, I never did actually watch that one. Yep.
It's number
I've
4.
only seen 2 Hammers.
Yeah,
2
it's
Hammer
number 4.
Draculas have I seen. Okay.
Yep.
Yes, Kathleen, we always have topics. We just never
Sometimes.
get to them. But no,
Exactly.
this time we're going to get to them because Tim and Dan, when they were on the show, were actually talking about this based off of this conversation about pubs and bars from horror movies. And just kind of, I wanted to get into it, like what pubs and bars would we, from a horror movie, that we'd most like to spend time in. And also just like some of our favorites. So, Tim, because this was birthed from you, I'm going to let you go first. Why don't you name one or two that you really would love to be in?
Oh, let's see. And we talked about some earlier, so I'll leave some for Casey. But
that's okay. I just jump in. You're the important one.
No, one bar that's really cool actually is the I think it's the Green Man bar from The Wicker Man, 1973.
Mm-hmm.
So like, not only does it look like a really awesome bar to be in, but like that whole scene where he comes in, as the constable from out of nowhere, and like the whole bar just like record scratches and like stares him down for a minute, and then they all just kind of go back to partying, like that. And you get another. We're back in Europe. We're back in the UK actually for this one for that pub, but it just. I don't know. It just feels like a really good time is had there. Now we know what eventually happens in The Wicker Man, obviously, but it's a very good atmosphere.
Actually I will go a step further with it as well. Like that original bar is pretty legit. Like that's one that I wouldn't mind hanging out in. I get a very Cheers vibe in it, but with like more of a stoic crowd.
Yeah, it's the Slaughtered Lamb, which is another bar from American Werewolf in London, without being as depressive, right? Like,
right,
the
because
Slaughtered
that
Lamb
place is awful. Like
Yeah.
the Slaughtered Lamb, everyone's annoyed and unhappy and sad, and it's just
well,
everyone's
they're
just
stuck
drinking.
in there.
Yeah. Well, that's fair too.
They just got to drink and drink their whole lives. But you know what it is, like with the Wicker Man, like they do have the fiddle going, they're really just enjoying it. It's a really fun time.
Yeah, it's
But
a
the
much better
connotation-
place. It's happier. It's joyful. Now, when you find out why they're that way, let's not discuss that. Let's not focus on the why. Let's just have a party, right, guys? That's what I'm saying. If you want to go to the bar, that's the experience you're looking for.
Exactly. I mean, when you get to the bar, you're just looking for a fun time. What happens afterwards? That's just the night,
That sounds like, yeah, exactly. But just as long as you remember nothing good happens after 2 a.m., there probably wouldn't be Wicker Man incidents.
It's true.
That's true. So, hey, they needed light, so they lit them up. So anyway, I will say this. I do like that bar. One that really, for me, that I kind of dig. All right. So like one that I really liked, but I'm not cool enough anymore to hang out in, is the bar from Death Proof.
You'll get there. You go.
I'll get there.
It. Congratulations.
I know I can hang out in that bar. Again, I'm not as cool as I used to be. I'd be like Stuntman Mike without being cool.
Well, first of all, pump the brakes, Chief. You'd be perfectly fine in there. In fact, I think you'd fit perfectly, especially the way you look now.
Oh no, I know I'd be fine. I wouldn't, like, he doesn't come after me. He goes after women. It ain't me. I ain't gonna worry. My thing is, I'd be like, not in my 20s anymore. I'm like rounding home towards 40.
Rounding home.
Rounding home. I'm like almost there. I'm like 4 months away from 40. I don't think I'm too welcome in this bar.
See, that's bullcorn. I think you could totally sit at the bar and enjoy yourself a couple beverages and accept the fact that you're not going to pull any tail, as the kids say.
Don't need it anymore.
Right, holler.
But I will say, hey, I pulled tail in my 20s.
Yeah, I remember that was, a decade ago?
You shut your mouth, you bastard. Oh, shit, you did know me in my 20s. Anyway. I will. For me, I like that bar. I would definitely eat the nachos. They looked delicious.
Right?
But one bar I would not want to be in, hands down, and we talked about it earlier, is the Titty Twister from Dusk Till Dawn.
That's a tough bar to go to. I mean, half of the time it seems like a really hopping place. Half the time.
Yeah.
It's specifically our time. Yeah. I am on the other side of the fence there. I think it'd be amazing. I would love to hang out with a Titty Twister. Are you kidding me? There's a guy there whose dick is a gun, guys. Like, I would be that one wandering table to table, like, hey, guys, his penis is a gun. How cool is this guy, right?
And he just happens to
guy's
be
name-
Tom Savini,
Right. And his name is Sex Machine. Come on.
AKA Sex
Come
Machine.
on. How are you not that amazing? Like, that would be the tits.
Yeah.
And Selma Hayek is going to dance there. You're going to have stunning women all over the place. You're going to have Danny Trejo as your bartender, bro. Come on. And if I'm going to become a vampire, where else do I want to be at said bar?
No, because you're enslaved there.
No, you're a vampire. You're having a blast.
They're all enslaved. She says
You
it.
go wander outside and talk to Cheech Marin. I'm sure it's a great time.
For
I'd be
like,
in
for like 8 hours a night, maybe.
Hold
it's
on. Mick, aren't we all slaves technically to the jobs that we have to do and the things we have to do to ourselves to make money and get through in this society?
That's true. There's room and board there. Where else are you going?
I don't know. Maybe again, it's the 40-year-old in me, but I'm like, I don't know if I'm like, I guess I'm getting curmudgeon-y when it comes to bars because I'm like, I don't know if I want to be here.
Oh no, I don't like
my
normal
speed?
bars, but that bar I'd be all about because that bar I would become the undead and live forever and have a blast hanging around gorgeous women who are just all like, naked and vampire-y.
See,
Yeah.
that bar reminds me of a bar that we have around here. It's called Mulligan's. And so my buddy went there one day and they were having an exhibitionist show, where people were hanging from their piercings. No idea that was going on, was not advertised outside the bar at all, but he just happened to be there the night that show was going on. It's one of those things where it's like, go for a pint of Guinness at Mulligan's, and then all of a sudden you are in for something you were not ready for.
I mean, again, like when I think back to 29-year-old me and I'm like, game on. I'm like, anything is fun for me. I'm all about it. And then I think to 39 and I'm like, but I'm tired and my knees hurt. And like
now when you're the undead, all of those problems go away and all you have is hunger. And since I already have hunger every day, might as well just make that the only big thing I have to worry about. Right?
But I'm a giant and I would need way more blood than the other vampires and they'd get mad at me. They would get mad 100% and try and stake me themselves. You make a good point about the gun penis thing. It cannot be denied. I think I don't know if I agree with that. Where are the women saying this? Also, Snake Woman is very important. Oops, exhibitionism. 29-year-old me is on par with 39-year-old Nick.
Let's put on someone's tombstone. Oops, exhibitionism.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. Oops, exhibitionism. That might be on mine after this one.
Yeah, but Clive Barker can hang out at the Titty Twister. Oh no, at the Mulligans. That's what she means.
Yeah.
The piercing. Oh yeah. Oh, he's.
Oh yeah. Oh, look at Timmy Scott. Oh, Tim, I love the fact that you're drinking blood. I really appreciate that.
Tim comes prepared, man. He's a horror guru.
Yeah.
I do my best.
Well, your best is fantastic and way more than the rest of us. So well done, sir.
It's true. It's true. So with that being said, what are some bars that for you guys in horror movies you're like, I'm staying away from there at all costs?
Tim, what you got?
Feast. I am staying out of the bar and Feast so much. It looks like nothing but a bad time, and everyone is pissed off. That doesn't even look like a bar I want to drink in. That looks like in a bar that you'd walk in like South Boston, and you just would not they would just not let you in. They just eye you down the whole time, and you'd walk out.
Yep. No, there are places like that where they're all staring at you the whole time. And it's like, I just want this beverage, and they're like, yeah.
Now, as far as great bar scenes in horror movies, because this is like kind of two things, right? There's great bars in horror movies and there's great horror scenes in bars. Now, the horror scene in Feast is awesome, and it's all in the bar, and Henry Rollins is in that movie. And there's not really much more that needs to be said about that movie other than Henry Rollins is in it and that craziness ensues.
Pretty much covers it.
Yeah. I remember, a lot of people don't remember, though, with that movie. I'm sure you guys do. That was part of, at the time, I think it was Bravo, but it was Wes Craven and Ben Affleck and Matt Damon teamed up to do Project Greenlight.
Oh, yeah.
And that was the first Project Greenlight movie, and it was Clu Gallagher's son, Clu Gallagher, son who did it, John Gulager, and that was his movie.
Yeah, let me
So
tell
we
you,
got to-
for someone to get a project greenlit and to get at least a 5 out of 10 on, IMDb and Rotten Tomatoes, like kudos to that person, right? Like, like some people think that's a rough score, but like to get in that range and with a horror movie that was greenlit on Bravo, I mean, it's not a perfect movie by any means, but it's worth watching, especially. And as far as great like horror scenes in bars, like it's definitely up there.
Well, that's like a completely random one with Adam Baldwin in Thirst. I don't know if anyone else heard or watched of Thirst, but that was a pretty awful low-end movie that was greenlit as well through that project.
Yeah, I mean, listen, again, kind of going back, Zombies. That was also made. I know because I'm in it.
Which the bar in Zombies is very similar to another bar, like say in Demon Night. So Zombies was a fantastic bar to go to because what was his name? Mick, what was the gentleman's name who was kind of the semi-hero?
Johnny Backhand Vegas.
Johnny Backhand Vegas. You're gosh darn tootin'. I will continue to bring this up.
Slapping hand is strong.
He says that. Those are words that were lines that were then used by an actor. It was fantastic.
I got nothing on Zombies, guy, but I feel like I need to watch it now.
Oh, yes, you do. There's a giant zombie, you'll notice, during a hallway scene going back and forth, smashing against walls, and it could be none other than our very own Mick Manhattan.
There it is.
It was me. And now that you've seen me with no facial hair, you'll recognize me.
Yep.
I might have gotten away with it if I didn't shave my face. Yes, I was in that movie. I was in a few movies, but that was definitely one of them.
Not as good as that one, though.
So like, are you Mick Manhattan on IMDb? Like, is it like when I look up Joe Bob, he shows up as Bloom?
I am more like Joe Bob. My real name is being used, so I will send you the page, but I'm not giving it up on the show.
Oh yeah, you're not, huh?
No, come on, don't stop being naked. Drink your sake. I will say this though, as far as bars go, I need a good old fashioned American bar to hang out in. And now, if time isn't an issue, if dying isn't an issue, I am hanging out 100% in the Winchester.
Yep. Bing.
They said you wanted an American bar.
Yeah, that's an American bar.
I thought the Winchester was in the UK.
It is.
That's what they said.
Oh, it's set. Okay, I didn't know where that was filmed. Is that filmed in California?
I don't care what country you say you're from. If you walk out of a bar at 3:00 in the morning singing "White Lines" by Grandmaster Flash and the Fab Five, it's an American bar.
Flowing through my mind.
I love it. Stop being naked and drink your stuff. That's going to be tomorrow's review of the show.
Yes, it is. That's it right there. That's the tagline. Stop being naked and drink your sake.
I might actually
exhibitionism.
I might actually change
exhibitionism as the headstone. I love that.
I might actually change the title of this episode to "Stop Being Naked, Drink Your Sake." It works out well.
Accidental Universal.
It is accidental universal. You're right. So, what's a bar that you guys would desperately like? Okay, so some of us were torn on the Titty Twister, but can we all agree the bar from Near Dark is a abysmal, just hellscape of a place to hang out in?
It's a nightmare.
Yeah, it does look a little. That's a tough one.
Yeah.
Take the vampires out of it, and it still looks like it sucks.
Yeah, I'm not going there, man. That's you go there because your friend said, bro, you got to check this place out. So you go over and check this place out, and you realize he's only been to 3 places in his whole life outside of his house. So it's unfortunate and it's sad, and you have to be like, oh yeah, it's great.
Looks like the place where they don't clean their beer line, so you just get like super drunk or like sick off draft beer. So you only When in doubt, always grab a glass of whatever they have. It could be thing of Bud Light or Miller Lite. But if it's in a glass, it's much better than draft if you don't trust the bar.
You never ever trust the bar lines, man. Like if you walk in and you question that, yeah, do not trust the or at least ask for a runoff. Be like, would you just give me a whole pint and then dump it, and then I'll take the next one.
I remember watching an episode in Bar Rescue where like he went back in their bar lines, and I like ever since then I'm just like, if I don't know this bar, or if it's not a brewery, I'm probably and they only serve like 2 beers, like probably just gonna ask for a can or a glass bottle.
Well, as someone who has worked in a older bar and for some time, always ask for the runoff. Just saying. Just saying.
You never told me that, you asshole.
Yeah, you go fuck yourself. I just gave you the runoff because I am not a douchebag.
That's why I love you.
Another bar I think I'd love to go to, but I don't know if I'd want to go to, is the bar. So I don't think it has a name, but the Stanley Hotel Bar in The Shining.
Oh, yeah.
Only during the
a
summer.
Great bar. No, when there's parties going on and galas and events, that would be amazing.
Now,
During
it
the
is
summer.
an amazing looking bar, but I don't know if I'm ready to sell my soul for a drink.
If you go during the summer, you're fine.
Also, that bartender is mean. Like, and he follows you into the bathroom.
No, that was Grady. Grady was the other
I mean,
one.
that's literally what I
that's
did.
right.
That's where I learned how to be a bartender.
No, you were a nice bartender. People liked you.
Yeah, but I still forced everything on them. Like, you want this next one.
That's true. That is true. I will say thank you to John, but because Katie's upset and wants to know where the IMDb page is, just go to the scenesnobs.com. There's a link to the IMDb right there, and you can find me from there. I will say, what is it? In the movie, it's the Gold Room. Oh, yeah. So that, because there are other bars. It's not just that one.
Mm-hmm.
That was just like where the whole big gala parties were.
I'll tell you, that's one of the tougher things about this is actually finding the name of the bar. Like, remember I was like, oh yeah, I know all these bars, but what is the name of the Wicker Man bar? Oh, it's the Green Man bar. You might see it signed like one time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you've got to catch it and figure out what it is. Well, that was a slaughtered lamb. I barely remembered it was a slaughtered lamb until we verified that.
Yeah. That's for me, like I've never really, like the Titty Twister I knew. The Gold Room I know, but only John reminded me. So like it was straight up needed to be reminded. But most of the time, like slaughtered lamb I kind of knew because I think that's become more popular over time. Like well known. Because I think some band called themselves the Slaughtered Lamb. They probably played there.
There's other ones. So one of the spots that I can tell you we absolutely never want to go to, and especially this is an old age comment. So you brought up the old age thing, and I've got a couple spots that we should never go to. Queen of the Damned. Don't go to that fucking club.
Oh God.
Just don't do it.
What about the rave club from Blade?
Oh, bro.
I would 100% go to the rave club from Blade. Watching that movie the other day, like I don't care if there's blood coming from the ceilings, like that place looks wild.
Right,
it does,
bro?
but in the way you're dressed, you're safe.
But, yeah, I mean, I would so I got like a vest on and stuff under I dropped the cape, but I think otherwise I could make it work. I'd probably open the shirt a little bit because like you have to get that like 2000s like grubby like European look where you're just like the open shirt and like you look like you're either coked out or been on Molly for God knows how long and like
fuck yes, the classic Steven Dorff look.
Yeah, Steven Dorff, who's in that film.
Yeah.
It's like
that's his look. In his fucking blue commercial ads. He still looked exactly the same 20 years later.
It's like the same bar from it's like they filmed it from the same bar from Bad Boys 2, which is
oh my God. And that's from Armageddon. He shot in Armageddon in that bar too.
No way. That's the one where the sex scene when Stephen Buscemi is hooking up with a chick. Yeah.
Yeah, when they have it's like crazy and they have the VIP section, all the guys are like you're hogging all the women, and it's like that's the same bar where Will Smith is like looking at the chick's foot or whatever and like doing his little weird head thing from Bad Boys.
Yeah.
But who's the Russian who runs that bar? That's Strohmeyer, right? Peter Never been in a horror bar, but like he should have been. He's like the best, like, oh man.
He's best everything. I mean, his Lucifer was fantastic. I think that was the best devil I've ever seen on screen. And I put that above Pacino's devil's advocate.
He also does a great vampire voice in the Castlevania show. He's the Viking vampire. I'm blanking on the name, but
I would, you know what? For me, I would love to go to the VFW bar from VFW.
VFWs are generally a good spot. I've only been to a couple, like in hometown, but like there's some hard people in that bar, but like it's generally a good time, and they always serve stiff drinks. Like,
I grew up in the VFW.
No one's underserving at the VFW.
Yeah, my grandpa was one of the presidents.
You.
Yeah, one of the presidents of the VFW. So that was part of my life, bro. I'm good. I know what's happening there. I'm fine.
Yeah, they don't like when you order iced water.
No.
I'll tell you that much right now.
It's a dick move, Nick. It's a dick move.
It is not a dick move. Sometimes you just need a little drinky drink of water to quench the thirst to get to the beer. I will say this, though, but the actual movie VFW, it'd be cool to hang out with William Sadler and all the rest of them.
But I can get that in, like, Demon Night. I can get old Billy Sadler hanging out and serving me drinks.
Yeah, so we do have to talk about the bar on Demon Night because we brought it up a couple times. Casey, I'll let you lead the way on this one.
All right. Well, I think it's actually one of the better spots to go to if I know that no one's going to kill me, because down the street we have the really good barbecue, right? So you got the good food on the way to them, and then there you can also get drunk and crash in a nice bed. Now, the view is fantastic because you're on the highway, a random highway, where you're off the general beaten path, and you can get drunk and safely fall asleep, get up, and just keep on cruising. There also happens to be a stunning young lady who would be more than happy to take her time making sure that you're comfortable during your stay. So, I mean, really, it's a win-win-win.
Comfortable is like a loose term.
Yeah, I use it loosely. I'm also naked on live internet, so, I mean, whatever.
You see... How many bottles of sake did you have before?
Only 7. I don't know why everyone's freaking out about this. It's 7, right? It's totally fine.
Dude.
The Dream Bar and Demon Night, though, my favorite part about it is not only, there's beautiful women there, but Dick Miller finally gets his. That man is one of the hardest working men in show business. Yeah. And he gets possessed, but he doesn't get blown up. He doesn't get murdered by killbots or, tied up by tiny toys. Like he gets his. And he gets what he's looking for, and it doesn't end well. But if there's a way to go, that's definitely got to be one of the ways up there.
That was a great way to go. That was fantastic.
I think he was kind of happy with that way to go.
Who would be?
And Billy Zane is my bartender.
Come on.
I mean, and he like sells that whole scene. Like he eats that. Like he eats the screen in the entire movie. And like I know. Probably talked about Demon Night before, but man, like that movie, not only is it a great bar, but it is a great like horror movie in general. And it seems to be rediscovered now, but like it did not get its due in its time.
Oh, it never did. And it was one of my favorites growing up. It was one of those that I had the opportunity, like my stepdad was like, we can stay up late and watch this when it hit network television. I was like, holy crap. Like it was a big deal. I would love that movie. And then I just recently, actually a month ago or beginning of this month, I got to share that with someone who'd never seen it before. And it just blew their mind. They're like, wow, this is a great movie, because it really was. It's a lot of fun. It's absurd. There's great deaths. Jada Pinkett Smith crushes it.
Yes.
She was wonderful. CCH Pounder was so good. Her arms ripped off for half the fucking movie, and she's amazing with that.
Yeah, that one kills it. Bordello of Blood, it's all right. I like it, but I like the cheese, and like I'll never say an ill word about anything from Tales from the Crypt. Even the bad episodes I love, because the Crypt Keeper's in it in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, and Dennis Miller is still funny.
Dennis Miller is funny.
Yeah, it's very tongue-in-cheek, and it's very absurd, but if you're okay with that, it's great.
Yeah. If you're like have a martini while you like watch like kind of like a guilty pleasure movie, like I think it fits, but you have to be in the mood.
Oh yeah.
Demon Night, there's not a lot of times I'm not in the mood to watch that movie. I love it. And Bordello of Blood is one that I am never in the mood for. And Angie Everhart, when I was a young teenager, not even a teenager, preteen, was definitely worth always watching, in my opinion. But I just couldn't. I don't know what it is. I don't think Dennis Miller's sarcasm belongs in horror movies.
Hey, you know, at least they tried something.
I know. Yeah, that's what I'm going with. It was something different.
Yeah, but Demon Knight is the number one in my opinion on the Tales from the Crypt movie list, and that bar is pretty. I mean, if I don't know I'm gonna die, yeah, that's a bar that I'm cool with. Like Titty Twister, like you're not getting an easy death.
Yeah, it's a hard way to go.
And I still maintain that it's with the Aztec type of castle that is below the Titty Twister. It's probably run like the Church of Scientology. So everyone they turn into werewolves is probably like the ones that I'm not throwing out interviews or anything for vampires. I'm probably the one that has to like wear a jumpsuit and like clean things with the toothbrush while getting kicked all the time. Like, I think that's more the speed that the patrons of that bar become. And you have to live 1,000 years before they're like, all right, your turn. Because at once every 1,000 years, you got a George Clooney who rolls in and is like, I'm going to kill everybody up top. And then you move up.
Maybe, or while you're down there, you could have like, you could show up and be like, yo, I'm Quetzalcoatl, reborn, bitches. Like, you never know. Like, you just have to figure out what part of like Mayan or Aztec culture you are, and then decide if you're supposed to like, maybe play basketball with the heads of your enemies. As long as you can fit in, you should be fine.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't do it. I would definitely go like ultimately with the Wicker Man, with the Slaughtered Lamb, all of these bars where like you're going to die if you step foot into them. I would prefer the ones that I don't know that I'm going to die. Like I'm going in and I'm leaving and I don't know that I'm going to die in it.
Tim,
like, not leaving, but like,
for you. Which one falls in line for you? So if there's one you're walking into drunkenly, you have no concern in your life in the world, which one are you walking into?
Death Proof. No, because then I walk out. I know I do. I'm not a woman. And I don't have nice feet, so Tarantino's not killing me. All right. If I really have to choose, the one from My Bloody Valentine. It is a dive bar through and through. It is.
But the Party in the Mines is better.
Right.
Wait. Are we talking the remake? I'm talking about the original.
Oh, I'm talking about the original as well. They party in the mines.
Yeah, that's true. They do party in the mines. Yeah. But I'm too old for the mines, so I have to go to the bar.
The bar's cool. Like that was another one I had on the list for sure.
Be stuck with a foosball table.
Yeah, I mean, like Casey's my bartender. We're kind of just chilling out. Hopefully, by that point, he has clothes on. If he doesn't, I'm still cool with it. It is what it is.
A lot of people are really shocked over the naked thing. It's kind of nice. What's up,
He
y'all?
just doesn't have a shirt on. Calm down. I'm sticking to that right now.
Right. Yep.
That's the one I'm going with. I do want to say, we do have another topic I kind of wanted to get to.
Well, wait, I wasn't done because I had one.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
I have one more, just one more. I have to.
Yeah, I'll throw out some honorary mentions after that. And
yes,
we can move
please,
on because
Tim,
I have a lot to say about the next time.
All right, you guys go.
Okay, so I only have one club I would go to. Only one legitimate club that I would go to. I understand the Blade thing seems cool as shit, but for me, it's the American Werewolf in Paris. Being underneath that church, that cathedral, and partying in there would be rad as all get out. So if I didn't know I was going to die, and I mean, unfortunately with werewolves, you're just torn to shreds. There's no real getting out of that. So if I had a spot to go, that would be it.
Yeah. So, but before I get onto the honorary mentions, say clubs, was the Lost Boys, was that a club with the dude with the saxophone? Or was
that was the beach. They were just partying.
They were just hanging out. Okay. Mm-hmm. I was going to say, but that would be also a really sick place to check out.
Fuck yeah.
So honorary mentions, the bar in Gremlins. We have Dory's Tavern. Now, I think I'd like to drink there. It seems like it'd be a cool place to drink, but I like that scene is just incredible. Probably, I always look at Gremlins more as a Christmas movie, but a lot of people look at it as horror. So I'd throw that one in there. And then the bar from Grabbers. 2012 Irish movie. Now that is a bar I'd want to drink in, and those people get drunk. Like they go for it in that movie because they kind of have to. Now I'm not gonna. It's no spoilers, but like that bar, they get after it at that bar quite a bit. So those are two. And then all like just to say, like, if you watch any Universal or Hammer movie, 90% of them start in a bar or they hold
taverns.
like because like the guy comes into town, he goes to the tavern, someone says something foreboding to him, and then chaos ensues. But there is always people at the bar. So, I mean, those are like every one of those has a good pub. The Invisible Man has a good pub. Dracula's got a good pub. Like,
you know what? That's to check for a second. The Invisible Man pub is pretty righteous. That is a pretty cool pub.
That's a cool one as well. And like, it always seems like in the early ones, it's kind of like a safe spot, right? Like your safe room is the pub because everyone's there. The town gathers at the tavern. You can't be messed with at the tavern. And then when you leave is when all, chaos ensues.
Every time.
Versus like 70s and 80s and beyond, like the action comes to the bar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know what? And I do like that breakup that you made. You pointed that out at the beginning of the show too, that the chaos does ensue later movies. And it is like it's almost like a hub in the original, like the meeting place. Like I'm just reiterating everything Tim says. So I'm smart. Who's the Frankenstein and who's the Dracula here?
Hey, that's directly out of How to Make Friends and Influence People. They just say what they said back and keep asking questions. Those are your two.
And then stare at them.
That's stare at them. A lot of eye contact.
Face. A lot of eye contact.
We've made this podcast the most popular of all time because I just repeat what the guests say.
What the guests say.
No, but I will say, like to Katie's point and to your point about the beach party, being from Jersey, the shore, we've had lots of those. Plus, from living in LA, like Venice does that all the time. Those are fun. Not bars, so I'm not going to take it away, but like that is a place, like if we're talking about like venues to go hang out in, if we like expanded it a little bit more, yeah, that would be one that I would want to hang out in. That would be a party that night that I want to hang out on in Santa Carla.
Yeah, but then you got to add beaches in then too, because then there's Party at Horror Beach, like from the 50s. Like there's the greasers are snapping and doing their thing.
Yes,
we need to save that one because I want to have that conversation too.
Oh, no.
There are a lot of fun ones.
Oh man, beach horror is incredible.
Yes.
There's greaser horrors too. Let's do this thing. Let's get across the board. I got bikers on bikers. Let's do it.
Love it. Yeah, you know what? For me though, like bars are quintessential to horror movies. I feel like they show up in all the best ones. I'm not saying that you have to have one to have a great horror movie. But let's face facts. If you have a bar in your horror movie, it's probably a pretty damn good horror movie.
Well, only would in a bar could you get away saying, you know what? His wife's all right. She's good enough. I'd take her camping.
Oh my God. What movie was that again? That was like
I don't remember, but that's the bar I want to go to in Jacksonville, Florida.
So Tim,
where there's like 8 people in a plywood shack.
No. Remember, he flew his plane and he landed on the runway and
he landed in the water. He had an amphibious plane, bro, and he taxied up to a place. I'm pretty sure
he did have he did do that. You're right. Okay. It was an amphibious plane, but the bar wasn't. It was a runway.
You're
and
right.
Then he picked up, and then he went later on the water.
Sorry.
So here's the basic premise of this movie, and Tim will probably know it because he knows 60s horror movies. It was some scientist in the bayou was making alligator people.
Isn't it just called Alligator People with Lon Chaney?
Holy son of a bitch! That's it.
I don't know.
Biscuits and gravy.
I know he's correct.
It's like a cross mutation.
I think that's like one of Lon Chaney's like I was really drunk like in the end of my career movies.
Wasn't that his whole career though?
Well, yes,
no,
but
that was
like
black and white.
On the downward
on
the. I'm trying to remember if it was because that's the only one I can think of.
There is an Alligator People movie.
This was like one of those. What do they call it? It was almost like the Mr.
Oh, I got it. No, that's the name of the article. I can't remember.
I don't have this one. That was the one I got. I've only seen like one movie about alligator people in the bayou.
The dark swamp
so it's
matter or something.
it may not be alligator people as much as it is. I think some of them were like crossbred with alligators. Some of them were like frog. I don't know. It was like weird, but it was like the scientist living in this house that had a greenhouse with a pool in it. It was weird. It was a weird thing.
Weird.
But so a guy, I guess, is going to look at land or whatever. I forget the premise there. He flies his plane in. He goes into this bar hotel thing that's on the runway. He legit flies his plane right up to where this bar was, gets out and goes in the bar. And he's like, hey, I have reservations to stay here. Goes into the bar. So what happened was he was supposed to meet a business partner that he'd never met before. They were working over the phone. And the guy's wife killed that business. The business partner's wife kills him with her lover. And they assume the identity.
Oh.
So this guy shows up so they could steal like this guy's money or whatever.
This sounds like that really bad Piranha movie.
It was right on par.
It was not
It was
Piranhas,
right
I
on
know
par.
that.
But
I know
still,
that's not what it is, but like
Yeah.
that one's like, because like that one's about like diamond heisters and like
right.
It's
Honestly,
so
this
weird.
one felt almost like Fletch. Like Fletch 2. It was Fletch 2, but just really poorly done and awful dialogue. And
It was so
one of the
bad.
best lines they have.
One of the best lines, yes.
Next, please.
So he goes into the bar just to set it up. The woman is beautiful. So he goes up to the bar. He's like, hey, I'm supposed to meet such and such. And he's like, well, she didn't show up, but his wife is here. And I think she's ready to take you out. And he's like, really? What's she like? He's like, I wouldn't mind taking her camping. And it was just out of the blue. And you're like,
it's like RoboCop. It's like, I'll buy that for $1.
Yes.
yes. But at least like in RoboCop, they play that like 70 times. So you know, like the joke on that. This was straight up like the bartender was just like, I would take her into the woods.
I wouldn't mind taking her camping, which it's a swamp area. So the implication there feels very much like he would torture and murder her.
Yeah, well.
It was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. But
Hilarious, though. We have to find that. Darkness waits, darkness falls. There's a darkness, bro. It's darkness something.
I'm gonna
We'll
find
get
this.
there.
I'm gonna find this line. I'm gonna send it to Tim. We're gonna somehow work it in. I'm gonna find it and I'm gonna edit it into the podcast version of this because it's just too good.
Just randomly pop in and be like, "Hey guys, I found it. It's this," and then boop.
All night long. It's like, check this out. It's so weird. It's a weird line. I'm sorry. It's just, and Casey and I both, we were just in passing. It was on TV, and Casey just looked at me like, "Did he just say that? Did he say he's going to take her camping?"
He was cool taking her into the middle of the woods and perhaps, I don't know, decapitating her or just hanging out and camping. Like, what's the level there? Does that mean you enjoy the quiet time? Would you like to be around her with a fire? Maybe you want to make s'mores and hot dogs. I don't fucking know what it means to want to go camping with someone, but it feels like in 1978 that meant some shit.
True.
And this wasn't even 78. It was like 62. So you knew it meant some shit. Like, either we go camping and you do as I want, or I'm leaving you for the alligator people.
But,
and it just was weird.
It could also mean I need you to help me ford this river with a Conestoga wagon. Like, we don't know.
We
It
don't
was
know.
so long
We don't
ago.
know.
That's ancient history, bro. We don't know.
The world may never know.
The world may never
And there
know.
it is, Tim.
So that's a bar I would want to go to. Just
I,
I
on
feel
the
like
other hand, would totally fucking go there, man. That place would be awesome. You know why? Because I'm safe. I'll be fine.
No. Casey wouldn't be safe. He'd get beat up because he'd be like, "Don't go camping with this guy."
Yeah.
Every woman that walked in there is like, "Don't
It's
go."
a bad
camping."
idea. No one go camping with anyone who randomly says they want to go camping with you. Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
Speaking of alligator people, I look like one. But so let's get into because we're running low on time. I want to get into the second topic of today. Halloween specials that we feel like we best fit in.
Oh.
I was giving this some thought, and I wasn't quite sure where I would fit. But I wanted to hear what you guys had to say. And Tim, I know you said you had some locked down. Like, what do you think?
It's so this one I've only discovered over the past couple of years, but it is 100% the first 3 Roseanne Halloween specials. That house and how it's done is like I grew up in the Roseanne house.
Yes,
That's awesome.
Like
Hell yeah.
they went a little harder. Obviously, they have a TV budget. They can do certain things, but like there's decorations in that show that my mom owned. Like the like kind of like cutout skeleton, the paper skeleton that's on the door. Like we had that decoration, and there's decorations in that TV special, especially the first one, that I can pick out immediately. Now 4 and beyond get a little out there and not so good, much like Roseanne itself. But the first 3 seasons and like of the horror specials are very, very good. And like the family feels very relatable. Like John Goodman, like they feel like very real. And like the Halloweens they have feel like Halloweens you could have. Like there's not a lot of like supernatural or hijinks. It's like, oh, like we're gonna have people over for Halloween. My daughters are probably a little too old for it, and they're not into it anymore. Like you get all those vibes, which, you know, I've seen a lot of other Halloween specials. Like a lot of people like Home Improvement as far as like in that timeline as well. And that was never as much of a show that I watched, but those ones a lot of other people feel, you know, could probably be in that realm as well. But definitely I would go with Roseanne first. I mean, there's other Halloween specials I love, but that's the one as far as like if I fit into one and like how I would like work into it, like that would be probably the universe as far as a kid from the Midwest growing up. Like that's can't get any closer.
That's fair.
Very absolutely, fair. Yeah.
Case, how about you, bud?
Bro, I am being a New Englander. It was always TGIF block. So Tim and I are very similar on that range. Like it was always that matter of between Family Matters, Full House, anything along those lines. That's where I fit. You know, I fit in those kind of that area. You know, that same style where, yeah, you run around and you have fun trick-or-treating and then you grow out of it. And then your kid sister wants you to come along and you're like, nah, I'm too cool for you. And you run out and wind up getting into a catch-up fight with this other rival gang down the street. And, you know, that's about the worst of it. So, yeah, it kind of fits like step by step, man.
Did Full House have a lot of them? I know Family Matters did.
2 that I can remember with Full House. Family Matters had a lot. That was
Family Matters did a ton. I know a lot of people
they always did.
Really like that one.
Love that one. That was one of my favorites. Absolutely. And I mean Urkel, so kind of perfect.
Jaleel White.
Yeah. Well, he was way more attractive. It's not like a similar face thing. It's a personality style, okay?
Stop being mean to yourself. Put on some damn pants, you hippie. Go to Venice, you hippie. I'd have to say that at my age, like if Casey kind of knew me in my 20s and he's heard stories, like I think in my like teens or 20s, like any Buffy special, I'd be like, yeah, I'm in. Let's fight some demons and shit.
100%.
Yeah. But now that I'm 39, I've settled down and I only go to haunted hotels until they kick me out.
For about 25 minutes.
For about 25 minutes when they give the room away. Now I'm more like the Modern Family Halloween specials, where it's just like you want to try and scare the hell out of the neighbors as best you can. It's like you're a normal family until it's Halloween and it's like I'm going to hang dead bodies from trees in front of my house.
Yeah, I can kind of feel that because we're only what 4 or 5 months in this house, and I literally went and grabbed a giant Halloween flag and planted it where the American flag was previously, and wasted. We got blue lights, we got orange lights outside. We just said Halloween has arrived on this block, and we are the corner house, and it is here now.
Bravo, Tim. Bravo.
Tim Bicycle, nobody ever expects the naked man.
Nobody ever does. And hey, you know what? 2 out of 3 times it works out.
First of all, if you've watched this show before and you don't expect somebody to be naked at any point, then you don't know anything about
You have
show.
No fucking clue who I am.
No clue. He's the madman. Underwear knows no bounds in this place.
Underwear knows no legs or crotches right now. So
that's how we know you guys are good people, because we're naked and celebrate Halloween. Look at it. We're on the internet. Go to any other podcast that's going on this week. I bet you none of them are dressed the way we are.
As universal creatures. Great job, everybody. Accidentally perfect. Congratulations on being accidentally perfect.
Speaking
we did it, people.
I do want to give, because she's watching, good credit, because they're hanging up on my wall. It's the artwork of Katie. I had to watch it. Damn it. And it's the creature from the Black Lagoon chilling at the pool. It is the Bride of Frankenstein, drinking her hot latte. And it's Dracula chilling out in some blood, listening to some music.
That's awesome, bro. And I really like how you gave us that Cloverfield effect. As you
just
kind of went, look at all this stuff.
I brought another monster into the show. I love it. So
bravo. Which I really like that one. And I want to go to that party. I want to go to a rooftop party for New Year's where I get hammered before a giant Godzilla-like monster comes down and destroys the world.
I do not want to do that at all, in any way, shape, or form.
Fair. All right.
I can't outrun myself. How am I going to outrun?
Vote in each column. Tim, where are you at on that?
That's why I mean,
it seems like a good time. It doesn't last very long though. And everyone seems kind of pissed at each other. Like, that's a catty group of individuals.
Actually, yeah, no, that's fair. Yeah. They were all shit humans. But that's notwithstanding.
Like everyone, you're not really rooting for anyone in Cloverfield.
No, I was rooting for the DP the whole time. I was like, come on, director of photography. I believe you can make it. Keep running.
Yeah, I will tell you, I was not rooting in any way, shape, or form for New York. And I had friends there. Still do. And just everybody that was in that movie, I was just like, if this is New York, then I kind of hate you. You kind of suck. And I know it's not. I know it's not real New York. That's just
it is. It's called cities, bro.
Real idiots in their 20s.
Real New York. Different New York.
No, you leave New York alone. Shut your mouth.
I've seen enough Law and Order SVU. I get it. You can't have 20 seasons about how shitty a city is and how many terrible fucking things happen, all based on true stories. So between Law and Order SVU, we have what? Approximately 42 years worth of cases of horse shit that happened in one fucking city.
Casey,
so you know what?
Casey, you are blowing my mind right now because it's true. It's literally, the whole thing is ripped from the headlines and it just says the city sucks.
That's what it is.
It just says the city is just murder and murder cesspool.
Yeah, but you have a rad prosecuting attorney.
Which one? Sam Waterhouse?
McCoy, man.
Oh, McCoy, yeah, player.
All right, I've tried to ignore this question for an hour. Is Casey fully committed to the role tonight, or just camera naked? No, he's naked.
He's naked. He's 100% naked.
He's naked.
Whoa,
no.
Whoa, the names have been flipped.
I don't need to get kicked off of YouTube with this show. He's naked. We're not letting that one roll on. He's naked.
They both got to see. I got a sweet white.
No, only I got to see because I put you in the green room and I still saw your naked ass run to the bathroom.
Well, you can't miss it. It's so bright. Like, I'm pretty sure I signaled an airplane. I didn't mean to. It just reflected out the window, and it was very uncomfortable.
I'm not saying anything because I don't want to hurt your feelings. But I should have worn my sunglasses tonight.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of colors here, and then they don't all match up. Like, and this is just so uncomfortably bright right here. Like, as the light is reflecting a different way than the other side because of how white I am.
I love it, though. You're translucent. Okay, it's wonderful. Before we go, though, maybe not the horror special that you fit into, but which one would you, at any age, would have loved to have been a part of?
Tim, what you got?
Oh, it's definitely the Boy Meets World. I Know What You Did Last Summer ripoff. Like, that is the best Halloween special, hands down. And the fact that Will Friedle was dating Jennifer Love Hewitt at the time. So, like, I know people get really worked up. They're like, wow, he's really aggressive when he goes after her. I was like, okay, after I found out they were dating, it kind of makes more sense. But they don't ever say that in the show. But, and she called herself Jennifer Love Pfefferman. And they like die by like books being fallen on them. Like, it's like Scooby-Doo meets every slasher you've ever seen. But like, it's also integral to the plot. Like, it's this whole like psychosis of like Sean not being able to handle Corey and Topanga together. Like, God bless them. I don't even think that was a Halloween special. That was just, they just went with an episode and went after it. So I will say that would probably be the one that'd be the most fun. Now, before I go, I got one more. The weirdest Halloween special I've ever seen is Mark Summers' Mystical Magical Special.
What in the fuck?
What? Yeah, I need
Never
to
seen
see
this?
that.
Double Dare Mark Summers. Double Dare.
Yeah,
Mark
Double
Summers.
Dare Mark Summers. So I I was looking up best Halloween specials or whatever, and I wanted to see some I hadn't seen this year. And it happens to be on YouTube. So if anyone wants to see it, it's on YouTube. It's just him and 4 kids in one of the more famous, let's call it magic shops. And it's just kind of magicians effing about for 20 minutes. And there's a little bit of a plot in it, but it's just Mark Summers and he disappears for a minute. And then the kids are kind of mad. It is the weirdest 20 minutes of television I've probably ever seen. Because Mark Summers also doesn't like children. That's what
Right.
people don't like.
Yeah.
People like Double Dare. He was germaphobe who hates children, doesn't want to be around them, can't touch them. But he runs
But
this.
he loved the job. He loved what he did. I
Yeah.
mean, I love the interviews with Mark Summers to find out he just the antithesis of what you saw on TV every time.
So so my favorite, the Roseanne specials is one I belong in. Some of my favorite. My favorite by far, the Boy Meets World ones. I think there's 3 or 4. But as far as the weirdest, it's definitely Mark Summers' Mystical Magical Special.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking weird, bro.
All right, so real quick on this as I look it up. Who would you say the biggest star in the Mark Summers Mystical Magic Special is?
It's Mark Summers.
Nope.
That's who I thought.
They may not be star. They became the biggest stars.
Christian Bale.
No.
Oh.
That's a good guess. Jonathan Brandis
Oh man.
and
R.I.P.
Sherry
bro.
Appleby from Vampire Diaries.
Yeah.
They were 2 of the little kids that were with Mark Summers on that show.
Well, Jonathan Brandis, of course, bro. I mean, Sequest all day.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sequel. Well, I mean, Never Ending Story 2. He was in lots of stuff.
Oh, I'm not saying he wasn't fantastic in other roles, but Sequest for me
Sequest
was the
was,
defining
yeah.
role. I loved him in Sequest.
He talked to a dolphin.
He was what Wesley Crusher was supposed to be in Star Trek. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
he was a lot more important to it.
That was the one part in Star Trek that if they could have pushed that character that way, it would have been better.
Save that, because I want to have an episode where we talk about Sequest, because I feel it deserves it.
Fuck yes, it does.
I love how our podcast just I have future episodes now. It's very bizarre, and I remembered it ever since my childhood. John says Lance Burton or Jonathan Landis.
Lance Burton was in it
Brandis,
too.
yeah.
Wow. Okay. Lance
So
Burton
yeah,
was in it.
no, Landis wasn't in. He meant Brandis. So yeah, so reading that, and Sherry Appleby is probably the biggest star to come out of it because Vampire Diaries was actually a really big show at some point.
For 9 seasons or something.
But the candy show that Mark Summers did is probably still more popular than Vampire Diaries.
To us.
Right. I mean, Double Dare forever, bro. I mean,
Double Dare forever for sure.
Between Double Dare and then Legends of the Hidden Temple, bring me a better one. Unless you remember the arcade game with Mikey. If you remember
Nick Arcade.
Yeah.
They played Sonic on arcade. I don't know.
But that was, remember, they only did Sonic and arcade at the very end. Before that, it was Paperboy. It was all those Super NES games. It was awesome.
Yeah.
I need weirdest ones.
Yeah, it was mostly the arcade.
I need weirdest ones from you guys. I dug pretty deep for that one. I need to see.
Yeah, you dug super deep, and I don't know where else I could even go.
You know what?
I can think of
that's
the weirdest one.
A weird Halloween special. You know, it's not. I don't know that it's weird, but it was super creepy.
I mean, I always remember there was a ABC after school special that they talked about worrying about what's in your candy. That always fucked me up. No, legit, it made me not want to trick or treat anymore. I was like, they put these terrible things in there. But now going back and watching it, when they would have a razor blade in your candy, it was like just a normal wrapped candy, and then they would cut, and then they would cut back, and it would literally be like a fucking shaving razor in the thing. And I'm like, well, that wouldn't look like that if it was wrapped properly. So that's kind of my strangest one, because they were fucking liars.
You know, what was a weird one I remember as a kid, and the host of it was Shelley Duvall. and it was like a Disney one.
Okay.
And also the Halloween tree was pretty weird.
Oh.
But there was like a Disney. Oh, what was that one with Tim Curry where he plays the witch?
Is it Something Wicked This Way Comes?
I don't know.
Um,
I'm not sure.
We can find out real quick. Or
Internet.
Because there's
Tim-
there's Something Wicked, and then there's another Disney special that they don't really talk about anymore.
Halloween
the
Town.
worst witch. The worst witch.
Oh, the worst witch was awful.
That was a weird one.
God, that was awful.
That's definitely weird.
Now, if you want to go into Disney Halloween, that's a whole nother episode.
Bro, can we actually talk about the fact that Hocus Pocus focuses so much on virgins? It
Watch it the other
over-sexualizes
day.
everybody.
Literally ends with the virginity. He says he had to wait for a virgin to light a candle.
Yep. That the fucking Binks has to throw that line in the end. Like, where have you been, Thackeray? Oh, I had to wait.
But we're left
200
we're
years.
left to believe that he won't be a virgin for long.
Theoretically, because it was very important back in 1992 that everyone get laid. And they know about getting laid. And if you were a junior, that was another thing about what was the Jim Carrey movie, First Bitten. So his whole thing about the fact that he was a 17-year-old virgin getting ready to be 18 and was so fucked up by it. Like, what the fuck, society?
Are we led to believe that like Ice and his homie like got laid? Because those guys were a mess.
Bro, no chance. Like, they were just, hey, you got a butt?
Well, I mean, it still counts if they're having sex with each other.
That's true.
Yeah, no, valid. Yeah.
John says Sherry Appleby was on Roswell, by the way. Yes, was, and that was a great show too.
Mm-hmm.
ABC Family quit lying.
Dude,
The
ABC
Halloween
was the
Tree is my
worst.
jam. I understand, but it is a weird tale.
It's a
and
weird
I do think
one.
it should be watched, though.
It's not bad. I actually think that one's just it's a Halloween tale. It's like a ghost story. Have cool ghost stories.
John, that's a great point. The 70s Addams Family Halloween is really bizarre because it was like 10 years after the show had ended. The kids are all grown up. And they're like kind of revisiting. It's
So it's Star Trek: The Motion Picture.
Yeah. Oh my
Yeah.
God. That's a perfect way to put
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Everyone can skip past that. I know it says number 2, but it's actually the first one. Wrath of Khan.
I like motion picture, but there's I have to be in the right mood.
I do too, but I fully accept what it is. You know what I mean?
But that's the thing. I like it as well. But again, I like it because it is a Star Trek original series movie.
Yeah.
It's just a long episode that you kind of just have to kick back and be like, dude, please don't sit like that.
What? Why?
It's so
Because
close.
you're super naked and I know it. And it's just,
What's the
and it's
matter?
weird because the way we have the screens, it's almost like your Dingle Dangles by Tim's Head. And I just don't want to.
It actually, in fact, wait. Hey, buddy.
Hey! Wait, no, I have to turn this way.
Casey, quick, let's sandwich Tim in. No, I'm just kidding. Anything can happen on Halloween. Your dog could turn into a cat, Tim Curry. It's a
Boom.
wonderful sentiment. I will say, real quick, we talked about the weird. We talked about the ones that we feel we'd best fit in. What is one? Just give me one that you want to be in. Halloween special. I will say this.
Sabrina
I
the
know it's
Teenage
crazy.
Witch.
I know it's weird. I want to be in Charlie Brown. Bunch of kids seem like they have a really kick-ass Halloween party, and I want to go to it.
Did you pay attention to that movie, bro?
I'm not Charlie Brown. I'm not getting picked on.
Yeah. I mean, the Great Pumpkin is awesome. And I mean the dancing, they get pretty wild in that one.
Okay, they do get down. And who
And
doesn't
you
love
know
Ludwig on
Christmas-
Beethoven?
You know, Christmas time is awesome too. They're raging out at Christmas time. Yeah. So we're good. Like I need to live in that universe. Any of the Home Improvement episodes, Halloween episodes? Yes, we talked about that on his show the other day, The Perfect 10. How about you guys? What's a Halloween one that you would like? You know, if you could, that's where you'd go. You want to go there.
Tim, what you got?
So, okay, so I think I had the Boy Meets World one earlier. That would be probably one for sure. One that would be really fun to be in because it was so like Tom Green was the Elvira Halloween special. Like just that like guerrilla shooting they did for that one, and just like be like a guy in the background with a skateboard and like Elvira just walking around like MTV.
You know what? Actually, I'm changing mine. That's an awesome one, but I'm not changing it to Elvira. I'm changing it to any Halloween commercial from the 80s or 90s.
Yeah, the Six Flags Halloween commercial. If I could be anywhere, I'm there. I am forever there.
And we used to go to Fright Fest every year when I was a teenager. And it was awesome.
Still never been to one. I've never been to a major theme park during Halloween.
We'll get back here so we can go. Get back here now so we can go. We'll party. It'll be fun. Maybe not a major theme park because it costs like $700 to get into.
Yeah.
And I don't blame you for not going, honestly.
I'm poor.
But I will say this. Bro. Halloween commercials from back in the 80s and 90s, the universes that those commercials lived in were just amazing, and I love them. That's the world I want to live in. All cool stuff. Celebrates Halloween. Great food.
Always great food. Everyone was so happy. It was like a fucked up Virginia Slim commercial, like, hey, smoke cigarettes. Life's great. And it's like, yeah, have Halloween. Everything's wonderful. It was true. I think of how many kids. Do you remember when they did the costumes? Where like at Kmart, they would have advertisements or Sears for the costumes for Halloween coming up. Those kids were so fucking happy. And they got to do whatever they wanted. There was no question about it. They just got to go live their lives. Yeah. 80s commercials, I guess, or, that was the pinnacle of humanity.
It's true.
Never top it.
Mick, oh my God, that's so correct. The 80s Halloween's commercials are so much better than reality. 90s too. Early 90s especially were really good.
Oh, okay. Yeah, early 90s, yeah.
Casey, Cedar Point has awesome
and
Halloween
still costs money. That's so far away.
I don't know where Cedar Point is.
It's in Ohio.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Going to Ohio.
I've been there once. It was fantastic.
You could come to Michigan Adventures. I don't know if there's anything going on for Halloween, but
I will go to Michigan for the Dogman Adventures. That's it.
Thank you for opening your house to me, Tim, and I possibly will just randomly show up one day.
I'll be at Dan's house and you'll be at Tim's. And it's just like,
yes.
Casey, have a shed.
Hey, I love sheds. I'm a shed guy.
Well, you have to put on clothes or you are in the shed.
No chance.
I want to bust out of McDonald's Happy Meal trick or treat bucket and scatter candy everywhere. Can I ask a question real quick before we go? I know we're running long, but it's Halloween. Let's have fun.
Yeah.
How are, with all the nostalgia, especially that McDonald's puts out every 5 minutes, how are we not getting the Halloween toys from back in the day remade?
Bro, fuck the toys. Where are my Halloween buckets? Remember I had a ghost and a pumpkin and a witch and a fucking, there was something else. There was a black one. I don't know.
It was a ghost. The witch was green. The ghost was white. And the pumpkin was orange. There was a black one for a little while.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it was. I think it had fangs, but like it was very short-lived.
Yeah, but I just like, where are those, man? I got
where's
lunch for my daughter to trick.
Where's the Coors Wolf? The Coors Wolf man.
Yes.
Bring him back.
Holy crap, I forgot about him.
I still have my Fright Night Bud Light mug with Spud McKenzie dressed as Dracula.
What?
Bring it back.
Bro.
Get him. Like, I don't understand why we're not adopting this. Like, we need petitions.
Maybe because it would fucking offend somebody.
I don't care. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, the Coors Wolf can't offend anyone.
Hey, George, I see you. I see you, brother. All right.
I have a spare room. You can welcome anytime. Very sweet. All right. Yeah. Come on, McDonald's. The Scene Snobs are telling you, get your shit together.
Step your shit up. Come on, McDonald's. You already fucking hurt us everywhere else, bro.
Really do.
I mean, you keep raising your prices. Why does a slice of cheese cost 75 cents? Be logical. It's not real cheese.
George sent me the picture of the bucket. So there wasn't a black one. The witch.
What am I thinking of? Oh no, Mac the Knife. Sorry, it was a totally different thing. I'm thinking of
Mac the Knight. Mac the Knight, and it was the big moon head.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I dated a girl one time, and my brothers, because she had like a long chin, my brothers said, like they called her Mac the Night. It was funny.
That's brutal. That's not funny.
It's brutal. I didn't call her that. It was kind of funny. I mean, I know, but it was
some of us with giant chins take mild offense to that.
It was not. Casey, you did not have the chin she had. You calm down with that because it's not true. I am going to show the buckets real quick because I was thinking there was a black one. There isn't.
Yeah.
It was one of the witches buckets because there were different variations. Had a black top.
Oh, all right. Maybe. Yeah.
And he sent me it's actually a picture with all the variations. And I'm going to put it up now for people to see because we had cool stuff. But I like those little chicken nuggets that you could dress up in costumes.
I forgot about those. I had a witch chicken nugget.
Yeah.
And there was like a spaceman chicken nugget.
Oh, I remember these things.
There they are.
Oh,
yeah. Tell me those were awesome.
Those are
and
cool.
we had so many cool things like back in the day that were like horror related, not just to Halloween, but remember creepy crawlers?
Yeah.
Creepy crawlers.
It's so like they had so many fun.
It's like the easy bake for freaking messed up kids.
Exactly. It's exactly what it was because you had your easy bake oven and then you had these weird spiders. And if you want to make gummies and worms, I remember you always freaked out this kid's sister. It was like, yeah. I love that jam.
The most horrific toy from the 80s, though, is the Dream Phone.
What was the Dream Phone?
Do you know? It's a Cinemassacre thing. You guys, if you ever look up Board James, look up the Dream Phone episode.
Okay. I will. I'll check that out for sure.
Was the
Dream Phone was like it was one where like you like got on a phone and you had to like gossip about like it was like you tried to figure out what boy was calling you.
Oh, I know what that was. Yeah.
Oh, that's so weird.
Oh, yes.
Yep. These things were awesome. And they made like a couple different variations of them.
It's like
not just for Halloween, but for 3 years in a row, every Halloween they had some kind of monster one.
They were just like screwed up California raisins.
I love it. Why not bring those back?
It was at the exact same time, too. No, you're totally right, Tim. That was the same time as California Raisins because they were all dancing and those ones would move versus the Raisins who were, functionally good singers and actual entertainers. But
yeah, at some point they were. Not quite sure when. But I am going to say I think it's time to wrap things up only because we're running long and our TV station doesn't love that because they cannot I keep getting every time we go over, which has been like every week since we've joined this TV station. They keep messaging me and they're just like, we can't cut you off because it's still good. Like people still want to watch it, but you're cutting into other people's time. And I'm like, hey man, we're the Scene Snobs. We do what we want.
No, we probably should be more respectful, but we love everyone for hanging out and listening. And that's what matters.
True. I will say, Tim, thank you so much for coming on. You're always welcome on.
Oh, thank you. Amazing. It's really fun.
In fact, we need to get you back on Real Combat too, because I need another good movie to watch. So guys, thank you so much. Real quick before we go, I do have a couple of things I need to run by you guys. And that is this Saturday night, if you're in the Virginia area, Casey and I will be live from the Hideaway Cafe. Now, you can watch us online and have some fun times from 4 to 6 p.m. But if you are in the area, I suggest you come out and hang out at the Hideaway Cafe because afterwards, we will be hosting horror movie trivia. And we have some very cool prizes and giveaways in person for you guys to come check out. We're even going to have candy dishes. It's going to be amazing. I will be in costume. Please do not go in a costume you're in tonight, Casey. It is children will be there. I cannot allow this.
Mixed children might be there.
Chicks, yeah, they definitely will be.
Yeah, and my child will be there, so don't
Your
worry.
child will be there.
Nope.
So we gotta tone it down a little bit with the nudity. Maybe topless. I'm okay with that. You got a good figure.
Well, thanks, buddy.
That does not give you value, though.
No, of course not. No. My looks are only because of my meat bag. That's all it is. It's what in here that matters. What?
Of course you went there. I love you. All right. So also go check out our reviews of Dune and also Night Teeth. Just check out the review, not the movie.
Bro, I don't know. I'm halfway through. I'm still enjoying it. I can't wait to go head to head to you with these reviews.
Yes, I do want to do that with you. We did have a very special episode of the Scene Snobs Podcast that was live on Saturday night where we told ghost stories and things like that nature because we had a hiccup in our haunted house or haunted hotel excursion. But we did wind up having a fun episode anyway, so go check that out. If you are interested in anything Scene Snobs, sign up for a Patreon, merch, anything like that. Just listen to the either just listen to the end credits and it'll tell you what to do, or just go to thescenesnobs.com. We have links there. Until next time, thank you, Tim, for being on the show.
Thank you, Tim.
Everybody.
You're amazing. Tim, can
Yeah,
anyone
man.
find you anywhere? Do you have stuff going on? What's your life?
You guys are what I have going on. Let me tell
You're
you.
fucking glorious, and we hope you keep coming on.
That and Tim is, along with a slew of other great hosts on hashtag Sunday Scares on Twitter. Every Sunday night, it's a double feature of just awesome horror movies.
Yeah, we're doing a marathon this week from 12 to 12. We're doing Sunday Scare-a-thon.
Yes,
Awesome.
and I'm super excited for it. It is an awesome lineup of shows, which I will put up on the Scene Snobs social media. You can follow us anywhere. Again, just listen to the end credits and you'll know where to go. And then besides that, Case, how about you, man? What you got?
Got a whole lot of nothing. Love y'all. Be good to each other. Thank you.
All right, everybody. Thank you very much. I'll talk to you later, and love you, Len. Take care.
Thanks for watching, everybody. I'm Mick Manhattan, the Scene Snob, and you can check out the Scene Snobs podcast live every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern, or you can check it out on any podcast platform or our YouTube channel anytime after that. Thank you to our Patreon supporters. Without you, this wouldn't be possible. If you guys want to join, check us out over on thescenesnobs.com. We have links for everything. The Scene Snobs merch store is open. You can check that out too. Links again on the site. Or like, follow, and subscribe on all of our social media. Again,